Gamescom is upon us, which means tons of new announcements, and most of the Switch stuff is being filtered through Nintendo of Europe, so we wanted to bring you a special roundup of 8 new Switch games that were just announced. 7 of these are brand new, and 1 is a release date update. Gabe, it's a big week over there in Germany, and it's going to have big implications for the world around.
Absolutely. This kind of has me losing a little bit of sleep because it's all happening like at very weird times. So I find that that's kind of cool, but there's a lot of games to get to here, so we should get started.
Yes, and this is on top of the Indie Highlights video that was brought forth yesterday. All of those announcements we discussed previously, these are separate. The first is that release date update, and we'll get that out the way, which is that Arena of Valor, the free-to-play MOBA, is returning to Switch, this time in a full release after previous betas. September, next month, Tencent is bringing the title fully to the platform.
You actually spent some time with it on Switch. I admit that game's not for me, so I don't necessarily want to give it too much time, but I think you enjoyed it, didn't you?
Yeah, I think it's not bad. I don't think it's, it's not the best in its class, but as the Switch continues to add free-to-play titles, it's good to rope in other genres. And when I played the beta of this, it was previous or before Paladins and Fortnite and things of that sort, so it was sort of the first experience of something that you could just download and play, and I thought that was pretty cool. But I don't know how much traction it'll actually have. I'm sure it'll have some. As long as they can maintain a solid player base, it should be. I mean, it's free, so it's a worthwhile download in that sense.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's move on to the one that was like the biggest surprise, I think, which is Deep Silver announcing Saints Row the Third coming to Nintendo Switch next year. This is odd on so many fronts because it's not even the most recent Saints Row game. Saints Row the Third game came out in 2011, and Saints Row 4 came out in 2013. So for some reason, they chose this one. No real details beyond, hey, it's coming, but it's just like an odd pick.
Yeah, 2011 games making a big comeback on Nintendo Switch. But this is all conjecture, but the thing that makes the most sense is the reason they picked this one is because this is a fan favorite. This is the one that people love the most. This is the one that did critically the best. It has like an 84 on Metacritic. So it was received very well. People love it, and it's cool because we don't have a lot of like open world games like this on Nintendo Switch. So it does fill a void that is just not really like tapped into on Switch. There are like open world games, but nothing quite like this. No, this isn't GTA 5 like people have been wanting for a very long time, but Saints Row 3 is still a very worthwhile experience. It has an amazing opening, like with one like of Kanye's like most popular songs. I don't want to like spoil it for just in case people haven't played it, but it's a very, very fun game. So
don't spoil that game from 7 years ago. I just think it is cool that they are adding more to open world, the genre on Switch. It was a good game, and it was liked back then. We were talking about how Giant Bomb loved the heck out of this one. It's just so weird that it's not like, oh, there's a new Saints Row that's on PS4 and Xbox One, and so we're going to choose to bring an older one that's an easier port. Like, they're cherry-picking one that's not even like the most recent, really. I don't know. I find it very odd. But hey, if you're a Saints Row fan, or if you were hoping for GTA, maybe you can still get some fun out of this. I hope the price point is really generous.
That's going to be interesting. This thing cannot be $60.
I assume there'll be like DLC included. There's no indication if it's like a remaster. I mean, are the graphics going to be, I don't know. Details TBD. But I'm curious to know if people are excited for Saints Row on Switch. If you've been enjoying The Walking Dead final season, first episode on Switch, good news for you. They are officially bringing the first season on August 28th, and then they will be filling in the Season 2 and Season 3 gaps at some point later this year. So the entirety of the franchise will be on Switch, it sounds like, by the time the New Year's Ball drops.
Yeah, I mean, that's fun, right? It was a little weird that, like, hey, the very first Telltale like Walking Dead experience is the last episode, but hey, at least people are getting all of this if they didn't have a chance to play it, and it's pretty close. Next week you get to play this. I like loved season 1 of The Walking Dead. Like that's Telltale's heyday. So I mean it's still fun for people who've never experienced. This is an absolute must play.
Right, and if you are if you purchased the season pass for season 4 and you want to get in on the other ones, it's a good chance. Although I would imagine most people that bought 4 probably played the other ones.
Yeah,
already.
Probably.
be a weird entry point. I'm gonna jump in the final season, but now, hey, at least they've rounded out the experience for Switch, and maybe at some point we'll get like some cool bundle offers that offer everything at one affordable price. A Hat in Time, Gabe, is coming to Switch soon. Now, this has a little bit of a backstory to it, because initially there was talks of a Wii U version. Obviously, that never happened. Then they said it wasn't coming to Switch. People really wanted it on Switch, but now it is coming to Switch. So no matter how you feel, you should probably feel good about the fact that it is eventually hitting Switch later this year. It's pretty beloved. It got a lot of good marks when it released. It's in the vein of collectathons of yesteryear, although I feel like this one fared better, at least critically, than Yooka-Laylee. They released similar time frame, and I think it's a good pickup. It's not like a major pickup, but it is one that has been, like, there is a definite cult following behind this.
Yeah, they also announced new DLC and a co-op mode coming to PC next month, so, we'll have to see if that makes its way to Switch. But, beyond what you said, right, there's another big deal where, like, people are, like, sort of upset at the developers for some reason, because originally they had said, like, no, it's not happening to Switch, and now, like, they kind of, like, changed their mind. So, I don't know, people are giving them a little bit of grief, so I've been kind of keeping up with that, and I don't understand it, but yeah, I mean, it seems like a really fun game. I never played it. I know you had, like, spent a little bit of time with it, right?
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not the biggest fan of Yooka-Laylee either. I don't know. They to me feel like they are just, I don't know. I'm okay leaving that genre in the past, but I know they have a lot of love from their fans. And yeah, as you mentioned, Gabe, there's just interesting backstory because of the fact that it was initially, discussed to come out on Wii U and then not coming to Switch, and so maybe people picked it up on other platforms disappointedly, and now it is coming to Switch. But yeah, they did get Switch dev kits early on, not earliest on, but a while back, and they said that there were no plans. But there's a lot of business reasons why you can or can't say certain things, or maybe things changed, or maybe they got funding. However the case, it is coming. Brawlhalla is also coming, which is a free-to-play brawler. In November, it will be bringing over 40 different characters, and Gabe, it's amassed 15 million players across PS4 and Steam, which is a pretty darn big player base. I was shocked to read that number.
Yeah, we've actually played Brawlhalla once. I forgot what PAX it was. We were at a PAX. We did do that together at one point. It's interesting that, like, Ubisoft seems to be publishing it. Like, it's like, that's kind of like weird. Like, it's a...
Yeah, they acquired Blue Mammoth Games, and that's probably the reason why it's coming to Switch.
Yeah, I mean that's cool. It's no Smash, but it's free to play, right?
Yes.
So I mean, it has that going for it,
right? Which is interesting. And if you look at now, you've got Brawlhalla, and you've got
Brawlout,
and now you'll have not Smash Bros. Brawl, but Smash Bros. Ultimate. So a lot of these character fighters coming your way. This one, again, at free to play, it's hard to
it's hard to argue
complain,
with that. Right? And it is a fun game. Like, I mean, I don't know how much you remember. We did have fun. I think
I still like Brawlhalla.
Yeah. So I think this is a good release.
Yeah, 40 characters. There's single player modes, co-op modes, online and local multiplayer, and it is releasing specifically on November 6th. Gabe, Grandia and Grandia 2 HD remasters coming to Switch. They are digging way deep on this one, coming from 1997 to 2018. It's a combo pack on Nintendo Switch, no specific release date, but it will be coming to PAX in playable capacity.
Yeah, I first played the Grandia series on PlayStation. That's how I remember it. But yeah, the original being released in '97 on Sega Saturn. Very old games, and I'm glad that they're being remastered, because I remember really liking these, and that was a very young Gabe. So Gabe of today doesn't remember as much. But if the remasters are done well, it could be a really fun time. Unfortunately, JRPG remasters are iffy at times. The Secret of Mana remake was one that I was super excited for, because I love that game, and then I played it and it just I was no, this isn't how it should be. Grandia 2 is on Steam now, and the original is also going to be joining it at some point, but the fact that they're coming to Switch, that's probably where I'm going to play it. JRPGs on Switch is fantastic. It's the most perfect way to play these things, so I'm all for it.
Very interesting. Okay. Breach is a new game. This is not being pulled from yesteryear. This is being pulled from the future. It is from QC Games, and it is a co-op action RPG. It's interesting because it is, the pedigree of the studio is a lot of different AAA veterans, and they're bringing people from BioWare, and it is an interesting RPG that has an open class system, third-person action mechanics, and ever-changing mission challenges. So basically you're building up a hero in the way that you want and then tackling the monsters and the objectives. It's got a cool trailer. You're seeing it right now. It's coming to paid early access on Steam later this year, and then will be free to play on Switch in 2019. Again, really amassing those free-to-play games. I think the trailer looks pretty cool, at least the characters that they're establishing there. I'll be curious to see how the actual, hour-by-hour game plays out, though.
Yeah, it's a very, PC-like game, so I wonder how they're going to figure out the whole controlling of it. But if they can get, Diablo working on Switch, they'll have no issues with this. And, the art style lends itself to Switch as well. So, yeah, this one is one that I'm going to keep an eye on for sure.
Looks very cool. Unto the End is another game that looks pretty cool. An indie title that was just announced for Switch. It's already been confirmed for PS4, Xbox One, and PC, but now also launching on Switch. And it has a little, I don't know, for some reason it gives me a Shadow of the Colossus vibe. I know it's 2D. I know it is different and probably more. We were talking earlier today about Dark Souls. I don't know if it's going to be that intensive combat, but more in that vein of a side-scrolling combat brawler. But it has just the serenity and scale of Shadow of the Colossus. That's why it reminds me of that. But it looks pretty cool. It's set in a very snowy time, and it features a nuanced combat system following a father's journey through an unforgiving wilderness to get back to his family.
Yeah, the art style just jumps out here. It's very simplistic and minimalistic, but still beautiful. I think it has a lot to do with the color, and some of these shadow stages are evocative of what Donkey Kong does, those shadow stages that you love so much. And
yes,
yeah, this is one that I'm going to be checking out as well. Seems like a bloody affair towards the end here as well. So I'm all, Zach. I one day hope to not necessarily be a father, but I like doing fatherly things. I'm going to tap into this.
Are you going to get lost and return to your family?
Yeah, I'm going to tap into this, yeah.
All right. I'm going to tap into today Brawlhalla being free to play and Breach. I think it's very cool to add more and more of those. I might even tap into Arena of Valor, Gabe, honestly. I know that seems blasphemous given my game preferences, but I enjoyed it, and I think more and more of these free-to-play titles, Switch clearly and Nintendo clearly have an emphasis on bringing them to the platform, and I think it continues to round out and make up for maybe some of the missing third-party ports.
All right, since you chose a few, I'm going to pick a couple here. Saints Row the Third, I'm playing that thing again. Even if it's just for the opening few hours, that's a fun experience that isn't a whole lot on Switch right now. So that's going to be cool.
What's the price point that you pay for that? 20?
20 would be perfect. 30 would be okay. Anything above that, I'm no. Because it's a longer game. You're going to have a lot of fun with it. The hours.
If it's not remastered, though. If it's remastered, okay. But if it's just straight up Saints Row the Third,
then yeah, you got to sell it for 20 at that point. But enough of Saints Row. Unto the End. That's kind of up my alley as well. So those are the two that I would be most excited for here. That I am most excited for. But let us know which one or which two of these games you guys are most excited for in the comments below. We are very curious as to what you think.
I'd like to let you know that you can get Saints Row the Third on eBay for $3.19. Buy it now. So keep that in mind, Deep Silver, when you're coming up with the end cost for this re-release. Like Gabe mentioned, definitely want to know what you're pumped for in the comments down below. We'll keep you posted if more comes from Gamescom. In the meantime, everybody, make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest from the Switch. And it's sometimes stellar releases. I think there's a few here that could end up being that. I think that definitely will be in the cards. And follow us on Twitter and Discord if you want more discussion. We'd love to have you there. But for now, for myself and Gabe, have a fantastic day. Thanks again for watching. Switch Force out.